So hello and welcome to episode 16 of Nightmare Down Under, the GearCity Let's Play where we play Down Under in Australia on Nightmare difficulty. We started in 1900, now it is February 1935, so we just finished putting our new 32 horsepower touring on the market. The press seems to love it. It's now only one trim for the touring because there isn't that much competition in the market. So there's the Hope Seesaw. There is one other or two others in Adelaide, but they are much more expensive. So we're leaving it at one and see how things fare. Our 33 horsepower big sedan is doing fine. So it has over the last year accumulated 2.1 million of profits. Our microcar is also still doing very well, same number of profits, so it of course hurts with a less of a margin, and we're selling it for a bargain to everyone who could possibly afford it, except the most unlucky in life. What we did in the last episode at the end is give our 2+2 coupe a quick makeover, and I'm actually going to do one more thing. I'm doing the same to our trusty Phaeton. Because if we look at the reports of body fuel type demand, the Phaeton is actually pretty much down here. At the same time, it's cheap, and lots of people buy it. So if we take the same look that we had for the microcar, we will see that the Phaeton in its current guise is actually selling to basically everyone on the market. So, and it's also, so we're still having reasonably high sales numbers. So it is 381, so half of our microcar, but otherwise in the midfield, despite competing against the sort of ghost car. So I'm not going to put the Phaeton on the new large wheelbase platform, and to stay within our house rules, it needs a large wheelbase platform. I don't think that's sort of in the end justified. So what I want to do is remove a few components that give us an age penalty. So I can't remove the chassis. It still at the moment uses the engine from 1920, as you can see here, and the gearbox from 1924. And so I can put new components in, and they're all cheap anyway. And then take the hit for the chassis penalty with a chassis from 1920, and then simply sell the Phaeton as long as people want Phaetons. It is a bit of a relaxing of the house rule that I have only one thing in our limited R&D department, but at the same time we had two different trims of the same car in here. And so it's not too much of a stretch with this house rule to say if it's two small quick facelifts without changing the entire platform, then this is something where we would have the capacity for, which the game, as I said before, doesn't really model, but I'm sort of modeling this to add this little bit of reliability. And in these still difficult times during the Great Depression, my company wouldn't really do the effort. So if we look at our sales charts, things are constant. I'm maybe slightly looking up in some regards, but it's still not. It's far from being back to numbers at the start of 1929. So that's the story. So Phaeton, new generation. So we pick basically our two oldest cars and give them a quick makeover. So the engine actually gets weaker. 16 horsepower instead of 18. We put in in this case, the 4-speed gearbox for $48 because it's the cheaper one. Although no, I'm going to put in the 3-speed manual with an overdrive. So I'm not changing the body, and there wouldn't be any new ones anyway. So this is all that's left for Phaeton bodies, because this car type is going to be dying out. It's actually now lower middle from what we've seen in the sales graph. So I can actually, and I'm going for younger buyers. So that's why, and through selecting lower middle, I'm getting lower material costs in the first place. I can slightly increase reliability so that I get one more tick. Everything else I'm going to reduce actually to the minimum. Utility testing doesn't get me 39, so that stays low. 336 versus, yeah, I'm going for full dependability again. They like that. Which means I can reduce the, okay, but more cargo focus, okay, 30. This gives 40. Let's see what I can do realistically in 4 months. So let's wring the last thing out of this platform, because this has to last as long as it can. Bit extra safety, okay, 41. And this is the limit of what I can change. I'd like some extra quality. Otherwise I can reduce things again. That was helpful, the extra quality. So final pass to the sliders to reduce them to the minimum possible, while retaining the 41 top score. So it's going to be a pretty good Phaeton. Still hit by an age penalty, but this is all I'm willing to invest. So 354 material cost. The old one was even a bit higher. Okay, so we have to sell it for more. But that's, yeah, that's going to be it. So top speed 78, fuel consumption is nice. And so that's it. Probably the final Phaeton we'll ever design. And it's a 16 Phaeton. I suspect we had one already. No, we hadn't actually. So that's then 2 things, 4 months. So maybe with overtime in the R&D department to get this out of the way. Otherwise, let's see how our new single trim touring sells, whether this makes a difference compared to previous touring sales. We have a ton of missed sales because we had issues with part supply. Supply workers or third-party suppliers had gone on strike. Okay, so that's not that helpful. There's more the question, why has the sedan LX still reserves left? Maybe there was an exception. We have an... Still, these are insanely high sales numbers. Is the crisis over or what? Failed coup in Greece? Let's just check the branches whether sales are up, and these two things coincided. That and preferably something where something actually sold. So it's the same sales. Phaeton was going up, right? I think Hope-C withdraw their Phaeton. Yes, that was why. Yes, they withdrew their non-existent GVO. Okay, so that of course changes the game. So good thing we put in some final new effort for the Phaeton. And that's our touring. Yes, 800 is I think something we had before anyway. Let's check that. Do we have a... Yes, yeah, so this here. Yeah, so the bird old sold more because ours sold less. So here we had... Yeah, it's only 29, so that have to extrapolate that for the other cities. But anyway, okay, I'm simply going with what I can see here. So most I think I should be fine. Can increase things slightly. Should I recondition? Probably. While I'm at it, adjusting the factories. So I'm simply making more of everything to build up the reserves. Pickup. Yeah, probably. So 50 more of each. And then see where we're at. Phaeton is the exception, so this Ghost's car cost us a couple sales. So we could have actually sold 800, 900, so I'm making 1,000 photons. And I can probably also bring the price up. So to something more comfortable, which still sells to a lot of people. So had I adjusted this? Probably had. That's quite a bit. Hadn't adjusted the compact. Grand Coupe. And Micro 8 gets one more production line. So good thing we updated the factory so that we have some leeway. We still have 4 lines available. And we can expand them to how many? 6? Quite easily. 7. So for 4 left plus 7 in 6 months. So that should be plenty for the near future. So let's see how this now plays out. Do we have still missed sales? Have we built up enough reserves after this hiccup in terms of supply of parts? Couple missed sales, so we have to work around that. So 450 Grand Coupes. So that's another production line. Tons of Phaetons. So it was worth staying in the market, outlasting the other one. 1,200. $500 pickups. The others I think can stay. So 16 sedan, 450. No, LX was that. Next production line. I think I can probably cancel a couple of them. 850 microcars. The 32 sells well. 800. The sedan. Next production line. So, I'm not expanding. Or if the touring sells well, so that's 1,100 tourings. I am expanding. I might not need it right away. But it doesn't cost me that much either. So maximum 6 months, 12 million. Cash flow is all of a sudden 2 million. So we can probably, okay, so this is better. So touring sales dropped a little bit. I assume they adjusted prices and such. No, there is simply no one. Oh, we have some tourings, but we have now 3 different competitions in 3 different places. If they were all of them were in all cities, then we were in trouble. But since they are not, we are fine. So this is one. No, actually not one line less. We can go to 1,000. So 750 sedans. The rest slowly builds up reserves, and we need that. What's our unit cost at the moment? Yeah, 147. I think that's pretty decent. And I can sunset the Phaeton and the 2+2. And that's easy. 350, 320 Grand Coupe. And 1,050 Phaetons. And that will teach them to enter the Phaeton market again. We actually have something that's remotely competitive for a fair bit longer. And now it's probably a good time to do a stock take on what our competition is actually doing. So research complete, new contract requests, nothing for us. So Phaeton sales dropped dropped again. Okay, that's something we're going to be selling off on rock bottom clearance prices for a while. Suspect that's a new competitor. The Hoopsie Peterson. So, okay. So the 18 Phaeton goes for sale again for bargain prices. The new one for... how good are they? That's the question. So I'm going slightly above Hoopsie. Because ours is much better. Wow, 45. I suspect we're getting still an age penalty of the chassis. Not really, but this will probably change. But anyway, so what's the target group? Yeah, that's I think a good target group for our lower middle class. So let's put this into production. I'm probably more like 500. I have honestly no idea how this will fare. Let's do 600 and then see what happens. We still have the old one which will still sell. You can end production though. Yeah, the 18 Phaeton. Grand Coupe. Here I think, do we have competition? Yes, Hoopsie has one. And Apesen also has one. That's actually doing pretty well for that case. So we're probably selling a fair bit more. So I'm doing 500 into production. $587. That's probably too much. Probably too many, but only one way to find out. The Apesen is very cheap. We can be pretty cheap. 38, so in terms of unit cost, this should work. Let's try something like this. And discontinue the 16 Grand Coupe. Okay, we have a huge negative cash flow, but that's our factory. And if this works out, then it's still viable doing that. Okay, let's do some stock take of the competition where they are at. So let's pick Sydney. So compact car, we still have two from Hoopsie Mark. And they're all getting a bit older. But ours is still selling well. No coupe at all. Where is it in the demand? It's actually pretty high up in demand. That's a bit of a market gap. So we have our 2+2 against 2. They have lots of coupe utilities, but it's also getting terrible and old. So that's something we could do, since this is Australia after all. And the coupe utility is here. So it's going on the long wheelbase, so that makes sense. Yeah, so that's the next thing. Goes pickup truck, third jump ahead. We're against the Apesen Ask, which is simply too expensive. So that's why this is selling well. So full-size sedan, we are doing exceptionally well. That's all stuff no one wants. For luxury sedans, yeah, good thing we're not in that market. Our microcar is still doing exceptionally well. So let's see how the Phaeton fares that we now put on the market. Roadsters, 2+2. That's actually pretty good and pretty cheap. Our two sedans are doing fine, despite getting a bit stale. But I'm leaving it for the time being. They're going to be the first on the new medium platform that we probably have to design pretty soon. Subcompact, which is, I think, pretty new, so it would expect it, well, not that far down, but still pretty far down. Touring is doing great, because it's cheap. Town car and van, no one cares. Okay. So I think coupe utility is the next one. But let's ask the press first what they think of the two things we just gave a quick and dirty facelift to. So latest 2+2 coupe to hit the market, and we may have hit it out of the park. It puts other rivals to shame, but it's not without compromise. So engine is underpowered. Torque is actually pretty decent, but the engine will do, so that's okay. That's good to hear. Handling is below average, so overall mundane. Interior reminds them of jail. Doesn't have much space. Just enough labor of love to make it better than most other vehicles in terms of quality. Very well in terms of dependability. Outstanding fuel consumption, so that's something. And it's not the safest vehicle on the market, but above average. So in retrospect, it's fantastic. So overall, pretty good. Phaeton. Is it really a better Phaeton than the Landau, which I suspect is a good one? It can hold its own on the track, so they actually like the engine, although it's slower than the other one. Handling does its job. They like the torque. Interior is terrible. There are times when I hate my job. Sitting inside the 16 Phaeton makes me think, why me? It's cramped. Build quality is okay. They did very well on dependability. They love the fuel economy, and I think that's important for Phaetons, as is safety, and there it's bare bones amount in terms of safety. Okay, so here we did pretty well, and now let's design the coupe utility. On the long wheelbase, with the big engine. Should we give the engine a makeover and the chassis? Probably. Has to be as good as it can be. So chassis, and it's had been now in a fair time into production. So major modification, it doesn't cost anything more, so yes. Modifying the engine. Major modification gives 2 more torque, so yes, and 1 more reliability, so 2 more torque is the argument. And it's going to get the 3-speed with an overdrive. It gets to reliability, so also major. Can I retire some of these old stuff? Yes, the 3 MR can go. So the engine is still in the old engine still in the pickup and in 1 sedan. So pickup is then probably the one after the coupe utility. The old gearbox is still in the compact. And the last, yeah, the old long wheelbase chassis will always be in the Phaeton and still in the pickup. Okay, but this is good. So then, coupe utility. New platform, powerful engine, 3-speed with overdrive. So here are bodies. So this is the new style. So 1-1. This is the new style. 1-3. 1-4. So it should be the largest one probably. Top speed 85. Top speed 76, and top speed doesn't matter. This is just a work vehicle. So then this one, how much is the difference? 1-3. 1-4. So let's lose this one, and then the other one can be an upgrade at some point. Well, what do they want? Dependability, power, cargo, but also a bit of handling and a bit of quality. So it's not exactly strictly a utilitarian as the pickup truck, but they also don't want too much luxury. And if we go for middle class, then they want even less. So coating quality, manufacturing techniques. So here we go to our bare minimum approach. Because if we want to compete, then it has to be decent, but it also needs to be cheap. They don't care about safety whatsoever. Cargo, can probably leave cargo and dependability up there. Market demographic makes everything worse. In this case, makes things slightly better, but not worth the price. So reliability 31, 32, 36, 33. Let's leave it at 32, so that we have some wiggle room for upgrades. 33 utility, 34 performance, 36. That's probably it. Safety doesn't make any difference. Some quality. 613, 572. No, not really. Okay, so that's our coupe utility. Top speed 85, fuel consumption 16.4, and 34 horsepower. So that's actually sort of top of the line thing. 12 months for 1 million. Nah, 30 months. 30 months for 800,000. Well, the 12 months for 1 million then isn't that terrible actually. So it's the 34 Ute, as this thing is known in Australia. And here we 34. Yeah, we go with numbers anyway. And let's see how this will do on the market and whether they will actually be still on the market with their now aging Utes. Okay. 38, 36. Let's just check whether we can reduce some. Yeah, we can actually. So then we can also increase things. No, it's going to be fine. We still want to improve things at some point, and not to spend too much on stuff that's 567, 13 months, 13 months 800, 12 months 1 million. Yeah, so 750,000, 13 months is fine. Cool. That's our Ute. So we have put both of the new things into production. So the Grand Coupe and the Phaeton. And we put both on sale and we stop production of both of them. Okay. And let's see how they do. So the 8-ton Phaeton still sells off. We've missed a lot of sales with the Grand Coupe. That's refreshing. So that's then 850 Grand Coupes. Good thing we expanded. That's a full new production line. That's awesome. So next month we'll probably sell off the last of the remaining Phaeton. So let's check the actual Phaeton sales. Yeah, we nicely own them. So one in the lower price bracket and one in the higher price bracket. So that's looking fantastic. So I'm going to scrap the last 25 of the old Phaeton, and I have to increase production. So that's probably 1,000 again. That's nice. So scrapping the old Phaeton, and it's probably more like the maximum of Phaeton since we have just one production line left, 912. And this may or may not work. We get the bigger factory in too. I didn't. Should have removed it from production, but anyway. No big deal. Otherwise, need to cancel or lower a few. So too many 16 sedans, so down to 200. Yeah, the LX. I think that's the old worse engine. So there's age penalties there. 750 microcars. So 732 sedans. 1,200 tourings. And we're probably now we're going to see the Phaeton number. And we're having the factory upgrade. Let's just check the unit cost for fun. 156, okay, that's looking competitive. So since we're going to have to sell the Cube utility in 9 months, and that's 1 or 2 production lines. Okay, the Phaeton sales haven't really changed, so can make now 400. How much have the unit costs changed with the factory enhancement? Not really, that's great, so that doesn't count. So making 304 Phaetons and have to sell off our reserves. Otherwise, everything else is fine. Yeah, so we should have plenty of lines for our coupe utility. I was thinking of whether we should start building a second factory again, but probably not that soon. 1.8 million in cash flow per month in a non-tax month. That's awesome. A bit contributing is, of course, that we are selling off our Phaeton reserves, 500 sedans. So let's check whether we are selling stuff for too little. Touring is great, above unit costs. Grand Coupe can probably be a bit more expensive, since we're doing very well. Phaeton is actually nice, above unit costs. 32 sedan is awesome. A micro is awesome. Compact is awesome. Pickup 2. Our 2 sedans as well. Yeah, so nothing to complain there. 8 months. Coupe utility. And otherwise, yeah, I think the economy is slowly recovering, so our sales figures are creeping upwards. More demands. Fine. Contract requests. Sydney rental service. So we have the best microcar and the best coupe 2+2. New competition overseas. Very nice. So what does the contract want? Probably some limousine again, or... Oh, pickup, a fuel-efficient pickup truck. Yeah, that's probably not something sensible to do, because fuel-efficient means low power, and a pickup truck you don't want that. And it's in 1 year, so not doable anyway. So I can start making 600 Phaetons. $800 Grand Coupes. For 1,000 Tourings. So the big growth time is over. We're slowly consolidating. 340 LX sedans. Pickup truck sales have dropped. So 176 pickups. Let's check the market. And compact sales have dropped. So 220 compacts. So how about the pickup market? It's the next one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Simply out of curiosity. So there's the pickup truck. No. That's a bit odd. It has dropped a bit. That drops a bit. Are we getting penalties? Getting a big age penalty, okay. So then we have to go to clearance sale mode. So we should have done the pickup first and the coupe and the ute second, okay. bit of a cliff there, this age penalty. Oh, but reducing the price did the trick, so we can make 550 pickup trucks again. Good thing when there is another lever in our arsenal, which is called price. Phaeton sales dropped. Is this market? 450? Or is this competition? Rest is great. 450 sedans. Phaeton. Ours is dropping and the Hope C is rising. I think we can lower the price just for fun. So we're probably out of the yearly sales records. A bestseller is our medium-sized sedan, well, as it should be. Because it's the most popular car type, isn't it? Yes. So what's the sedan market like at the moment? Tons of stuff on there, but we are actually doing fine, even with our slowly outdated cars, but we'll suffer that for something like 2 more years till we get to the new platform. Because theirs is either not available or too expensive. Okay, that works. 5 months till we get the coupe utility. Then it's pickup truck on the new platform, and then it's the new medium-sized platform. Just in time to keep the design skill bonuses. Missed sales on the pickup truck, so the price reduction was actually useful, and the full-size sedan, I suspect that's a market exit. Everything else is fine. 16 sedan, some less. 16-cylinder engine, maybe we design one. So compact is still good, so 700 pickup. So what I'll do is maximize the production line and make it a bit more expensive again. This has made 12 million profits over its lifetime. Well, it has been a long lifetime. So 16 sedan, 250. Not the standard one. No, the LX is 250. The base one is 500. Fine. I suspect I think the 16 sedan LX had the old 18 horsepower engine in it, and now that's the age penalty showing. But yeah, the sedan is simply the old platform, and it has to endure a bit longer. So 1,032 sedans, maybe 930, and a bit of a price increase. That's a market exit. Yes, there's only one that we... So let's put up some monopoly prices. Let's see how this affects things. And yeah, pickup truck adjusted that too. 4 months till we get our ute. So we can still increase the pickup truck price. So there was a bit of an overreaction on our end to compensate for the age penalty. Okay, we have a few less full-size sedans, so I'm probably going to reduce that price again. So something like this, and something like that. Compact 300. Compact is playing nicely in the long game. I'm not sure I would give it a full revamp, maybe a facelift, but we have enough things on our plate. And as long as it's hanging in there, it's fine. Has too much competition for the comparably small market, especially in contrast to the microcar, which is still doing pretty well. So pickup truck is now great, where it should be. Okay, full-size sedan can go down to 800. So I think we have found some equilibrium, and I don't need to, with 1.8 million cash flow, I don't need to be penny pinching here. 700 microcars. Ooh. It doesn't matter. What's our unit costs in the meantime? 170. Yeah, okay. Ute in 2. We don't need to sunset anything. It's the first one ever. New contact request, Sydney rental service. 1,100 tourings. 922 sedans, so apparently they didn't mind the price increase that much. So, contract. That's another one. Full-size sedan, that's more fuel efficient. Probably not going to happen. What we can do next time around is check whether the revamped engine would get this low of a fuel economy in the full-size sedan, but I highly doubt it. That shouldn't be that substantial. So some things have picked up, including the pickup in terms of sales. That's neat. Destruction in Madrid. Oh, that's probably the civil war in Spain. Research complete. Yeah, civil war in Spain. That's in the news. What does the press say before I'm looking at the score? So the last several years, the Ute segment has seen great models, and we think we have found a hit with our version, the 34 Ute. Is it a kinder, gentler Ute or the burly, brash slog of a vehicle? It's an enjoyable experience. So they like the engine. The torque is average. And they like the handling. They offer what you would expect in turning comfort. Cargo space is fine. The quality leaves a lot to be desired. It's very dependable. They love the fuel economy of 16.4. And they don't like safety, but otherwise they're very happy. So if they're happy, I'm happy. Let's put it into production. Let's first sell it and let's get an idea what... Okay, so they are still selling plenty of stuff, but with very weak ratings. Ours has a rating of 40. And with this price, we're actually... So with a... yeah, so we are middle class. Lots of maximum estimated customers. That's our very nice numbers. I have honestly no idea how many we would actually sell. 2 production lines and see where we are. It's probably a bit too much actually. It's more probably like sedan stuff. 1 production line. 450. Let's see. It is pretty good. Okay, 500. So that's that. Let's make a quick check whether we can re-engineer the full-size sedan, give it a first facelift to be more fuel efficient. 15.4. I think they wanted something way lower. 14.8. No dice. Okay. So not gonna happen. So I don't have to put anything out of production. So research teams, yeah, we're getting skills. Why do we have one less engine skill than chassis skill when everything always was in sync? That's odd. Anyway, so we still have these skills. So then there is no true urgency to put a new platform into production, and we're going to make a new pickup. It's a bit of a redundant thing, but these market segments don't overlap, as far as I understand. This is basically going to be the same thing as the coupe utility, the Ute, except for even more focus on, or even less focus on non-cargo stuff. So this, what was our, so this was, this is new. Yeah, this came out of this year, but it has a bit of a different style. So this, I think, was our Ute, so this should look different. So maybe that. So this has a dual cab. How many people? 4 people. So maybe the truck doesn't have one. 1382. This is probably cool. 1.5. It's a bit of a meme. At the same time, we could say that's the difference between our Ute and the pickup truck, that this has a huge bed. Because this looks a bit different. That's a new style. All this is the utility. 1320. So this looks a bit more graceful, but at the same time, so this we had, this was our, so one, no, this was the coupe utility 1737. 1.5, that's a bit odd, but anyway, I think this is this looks nice, but I think it's simply too small to be any good. Top speed 86 to 85, yeah, so then this is our pickup truck, which is simply larger. I'm not sure what this stuff here should be on the fenders, but anyway. Okay, so that's then the pure work vehicle for the middle class male who don't care about quality and about interior and stuff like that. So the good thing is we have pretty low material costs for all of this, so we will always be able to compete on price. Cargo dependability is what they want, and that's it. So market demographic makes things sort of worse. So utility 31, 32, reliability 33, 34, 35, performance 36. We have a little bit more dip here, so that's interior quality if we want to. Okay, so 15 liters, top speed 85, some nice cargo space, 518 material cost in 12 months. So 13 is 742, 942 in 12. I think I go for the shorter for the duration that can start the platform in mid 1937. So 518. The old one costs 357, so this is a bit more expensive, but I think that's okay. So it's the 34 pickup, and we're going to build it. So then let's see how the Ute sells and whether we sort of guesstimated the demand right. Okay, so we were actually a bit optimistic here, so 300 Utes are probably going to be fine. 288, so one line. Yep, so that seems to work. All right. Couple other adjustments necessary. Yes, more tourings. 1,200 tourings. How are we actually selling the ute? Yeah, above unit costs. That's great. So we still, I think we're just a victim of them having tons of trims. But they are old, and I think at some point they will vanish, and then the market is ours, because ours is the newest. I don't want to lower the price. I could, but then I'd have to have two production lines, and I think this works well until we simply bide our time till they will withdraw from the market, which they probably will at some point with the aging vehicles. So more Phaetons, more 550 Phaetons. So there's still some life left in the Phaeton. Everything else looks good. Some more pickups. Nope, not more pickups. So things are pretty stable from the looks of it. Have we actually checked the company directory and the top sales for 1935? No, because otherwise we would have seen our new touring is in the top sales list, 13,000. And that's actually on the first page. Very nice. I think that's the function of having just one trim instead of two. So who's still making losses? Companies buying other marks, although they may have overreached. Bailey Motors are probably going to be bust. Couple make huge profits. Wonder if you can sell a mark so that this is profit from selling a mark, but I think these are probably doing pretty well. Where are we? Not on the first page. Yeah, we had the factory stuff. 3.5 million. That's the factory expansion. But only 1.5 page of companies making a profit, so this is not yet over. Although the huge cash reserves that the AI has helps them to a great extent. And that's why was one reason why I wanted to start with the lowest possible AI cash reserves while still retaining the nightmare stuff in terms of achievements and so on. I need to make 850 Grand Coupes. Pickup truck sales are picking up. I'm simply increasing the price again. They should wait for the good pickup that's coming out in 8 months. More of our full-size sedan, about 1,000. That's a lot. The 16 sedan is also still doing very well. 550. Phaeton has dropped 500 Phaetons. Rest works well. New contract requests, nothing for us. We have the best ute in the country, and that in the entire world actually. Let's license it. And there's the Argentina Turismo. Let's just check what that is. But first let's open up our Ute for licensing. So make it a few more royalties, so something like 39 because it's great. Let's see who wants it. So racetrack, Argentine Turismo, funding cheap, stock car, location United Kingdom. That's weird. What does stock car mean? It's not a category in game. So what's the interpretation of stock car in the game, and why is the Argentine Turismo in the United Kingdom? Probably have to read up on what racing series this could mean. 750 Grand Coupes. Full-size sedan back to 850. That was just a bit of a blip there. 1000 Tourings. Pickup truck sales dropped. Ah, that was me increasing the price. Okay, so I can lower it again. So here we have the sweet spot due to the age penalty. We have now plenty of reserves that we need to sell off anyway. So new year, let's check stats again. Top sales. Touring, 13.2 thousand. Now that's not on the first page, so that means everything else is picking up. We're not in the all-time sales with anything, right? Or are we? Second place in terms of microcars. Very nice. So we have our niche there, apparently. Company directory. So, whoa. Qworth is buying marks left and right, so that's probably the new GM in this game world. The others, yeah, sort of interesting. Bailey Motors, they are probably dying off. Strong Arm Sydney probably as well. Who's profitable? Borgward, that's funny. Although I think they were actually profitable pre-war, but not post-war. Hopesy is very profitable. Good for them, I guess. We are profitable, so we are made the first page again. Last year 21 million. Sales 70,000 for us, so we make the first page. Yes, we do. So that's very encouraging. So I guess for us the crisis is over. And then it's simply about, yeah, keeping the upward trajectory into the future. So pickup truck, make it, yeah, I can start the clearance sale. Tons of new bodies, so that's something fancy, so that we won't care about in that much of a future. So let's start the clearance sale for the pickup. The Ute market has gone up. Let's check that. And let's make 350. No, still. I think the others are just deteriorating. Some are gone. And we are going up and they're going down, so they're just old. That's that. That's cool. Phaeton sales have dropped. Probably age penalty or something. Hopesy has pretty new... Yeah, they simply have new ones. Yeah, so the Apes and Dill, which is cheaper than ours and slightly worse. We can probably react in terms of lowering prices since we're making it pretty cheaply. 300. No, we're still selling 400 anyway. So then let's see what that did. Rest 800 microcars. That thing is still selling extremely well, but it was awesome back then. So 16 sedan, yeah, they are succumbing to the engine age penalty. 150 is probably fine. Alright. Pickup truck in 5. Some news. Destruction in Vigo, Spain. Yeah, that's the Spanish Civil War. Whoa. 8 compact. That's a market exit. And Ute, that's also a market. That's a big market exit. 2 big market exits. Big sedan is needs 1,000. Microcar stabilizes on a high level. 16 sedan picks also up again. So 320. I have to check the markets there. I suspect someone's moving. 16 sedans also more. 650. Pickup is slowly selling off. 4 months to go. Okay. So we need to produce 1,250 utes. Can probably make it more expensive. And we need to produce 900, 850? 850 compact cars. Finally. And suddenly we just have one production line available. I think I'm going to start another factory, just to be on the safe side. But first let's check the market. So, yeah, all the crap from, what was it, GTC or something is gone. And that of course made a huge difference. So, let's just up the price a little bit. The other was the compact. We are the only compact left on the market. There is one from Clare Harbor, that's only Perth, who cares. Ours is starting to get stale. But anyway, so we can also raise the price. Welcome to the monopoly. So that's of course very helpful. So new factory, simply that we can get some wiggle room. So something like 5 lines with great technology. It takes a while. That's a pity. So 6 lines with great technology, and that's then pretty great technology. Yeah, something like this. So that is finished in 2 years and a bit, and then we can upgrade it. And also how long would it take to redesign what we have? So 30 lines with decent technology. I think let's just focus on Melbourne so far, because now we're getting into ridiculous times here. So Sydney is probably at its end of where it needs to be, and maybe in a couple of years when Melbourne is equally great, of equal size, then we get to look at that. All right, so we're now raking in the cash. So developing the Cube utility was a masterstroke, because we suddenly own that market, and it's our best seller if you look at the stats. Welcome to Australia. More Grand Coupes, 850. Yeah, so this looks like a nice economic boom. More 32 sedans. We're running low on reserves. 950 microcars. 300 sedan, and leaving it at that. We're selling off the pickup truck, which is great. And 750 compact. Because we're going to run out of space to produce when we get the new pickup. Because we'll also probably sell more. Okay, rebellion in Xinjiang, but nothing So if that affects us, it's just a normal boom, and our competitors, what are they actually doing? Let's look at Hope C. I mean, they were doing extremely well in terms of profits. So Ute 1000. Phaeton is still nice. Grand Coupe we can use a few reasons. Touring is picking up. 1,300 Tourings. That's a new production line. 850 microcars. Yeah, for 380 Sedan LX. Okay, that's that production line. Not the best use of it. Pickup truck is nicely sunsetting. Can reduce the price a little bit more and then don't even have to adjust production. And it's still above unit costs. So pickup in 2. And then it's probably overdue that we start designing our new mid-size platform. But our sedans are still holding in there. Same for the Grand Coupe. $1,150 Utes. So that's probably a bit of fluctuation there till things have stabilized. Compact car sales just plummeted. So that's, I guess, a replacement. Okay, pickup truck is great. So in a sense, the compact helps us. I can probably stop compact production for quite a bit. We'll just check what that is. Grand Coupe 750. We might just phase out the compact, and if we need the lines for the for the pickup truck anyway. Sedan LX 200. And Sedan 400. That's probably also a new entrant. 322? No. So, market for compact. Oh, they came with 2 new cars. So that's, I think, we can probably reduce price for ours, but it's still being worse. We have other things on our plate than re-engineering the compact. We might try simply giving a makeover while we're designing the new platform. Sedan. There is the bench short, so there's a new sedan on the market, so ours will also, we have to go lower again with our prices, but we can do that. Yeah, that was the massive changes. So pick a truck next month. Contract requests, nothing for us. Research complete. So pickup truck is gone. Okay, compact sales have picked up again. We can leave it off for a while. But that they didn't bring out a new Ute is very nice. So 850 Grand Coupes. Sedans are also doing reasonably well with the lower prices. So 400, no, the standard one is fine. LX goes to 270. So with the lower prices, they can still hang in there. And it shouldn't be too long. 1,200 Tourings. So pickups onto the market. So that's something like 1,000. I'm going to produce. And I need all the production lines for that, if that really works. Which means the death knell for the compact. could still think about a small um, extension to the signal factory would mean, but one thing at a time. So that was the one with the lower price, and here we can, I think, price more aggressively. So 1373. We are the only one, so we can actually use this estimation. 259. 340 is one more bar. I hate this. So let's go for 1.4 for the pickup, because the Ute is costing less. So for the workman pickup, you need to pay more. There is none on the market, so we can simply discontinue the old pickup. So the oldest stuff that we have now is our sedan. So they are going to be the first one on the new platform. We could give the compact a bit of a makeover in parallel if we wanted to. So that's something to consider. We're still getting these skills, but we will lose them very soon. Let's see what the press thinks about the pickup. No one's going to hang it on the poster. It's the latest plain Jane iteration of the pickup truck. It's absolutely garbage when it comes to performance. Okay, so they want more than 85 kilometers. That's odd. And torque doesn't really say anything about the torque. Handling is great. It's comfortable. We didn't even try for that. I suspect that's the chassis that's very comfort oriented. Space and cargo is decent. Poor workmanship, but dependable. Nice fuel economy. And average amount of safety, so otherwise I think pretty good. So that was a bit over time, but I think with all the things happening, was hopefully worth the bit of an extended duration. And lots of things on our plate then for the next episode, where we have to design the new medium-sized things, so chassis, gearbox, and engine first and foremost. And hope to see you then.